Hello and welcome to Animated Anarchy. This is a Minicast episode featuring Andrew and Mike.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the Raccoons for a minute.
I don't know anything about the Raccoons.
Well, the Raccoons
I know they have a bent nose.
Well, yeah. I think the designs of those characters are just... I mean, a lot of them are bent noses, and I think... Cyril Sneer, who is like the main villain of it, it's like I think they're supposed to be aardvarks, but I don't think they originally were designed that way.
Yeah.
To be like aardvarks.
I would have to look at them. I've never seen them before.
It's like they kind of have like that Cubert nose, you know. So like
it's just a hole at the end of a nose, like a trunk.
Sort of. They are noses that are bent downwards though. But I've been watching this show for a little bit, and I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I can't remember if it was like Nickelodeon or USA or some sort of channel that
I don't remember it being on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, maybe it was on something else. Maybe it was on one of the like ABC or NBC or something like that.
Was it like, do you think it was a cable channel? Do you think it was like Fox Family or
maybe
something like that?
It could have been on Disney Channel. Maybe that's where I saw it.
Maybe
because like it was like being syndicated or something. And I don't know. I really like this show. I guess it like originated from Canada.
No, there's the Nelvana show, right?
I don't know if it's Nelvana. I really enjoyed it. The thing that really got me into it was the song "Run With Us."
Is that's the theme?
That's like the ending theme. It's like the credits had like a really powerful 80s like song.
I've never heard it.
It's if I can find it for a minute. But yeah, it's just really interesting how this show, it feels like one of those shows where it's like it's on the same level of DuckTales, in my opinion, where it's like it's really interesting to see. It's not very fast paced. It takes its time with a lot of stuff. The humor is very like tongue in cheek sometimes, and the main focus, it's not as adventure oriented either. It's like it kind of stays in this it stays in this realm, this like
forest.
The forest, yeah. And of course, there's like Cyril Sneer, who is like, I guess, the villain. He's more like a local who is the rich jerk of the world, and he's trying to do whatever he can to like make money. And it's funny because it's like he's the complete opposite of Scrooge McDuck in terms of like his position in the world, where he's like rich, and he's like more scheming, like Montgomery Burns or something like that. And he's more the main focus in this show, because whatever the Raccoons are doing, it's like they're just doing whatever, you know. They're introducing a new element to the show, and then Cyril Sneer comes in and basically tries to cash in on it. And and at the end of it, you know, Cyril Sneer is like he gets it in the end. You know, it's like as something goes
he gets
wrong,
his comeuppance one way or another.
He gets it in the end, basically. And what I really found interesting about this is like, even though he's a jerk, even though he's like this complete money-grubbing asshole of this forest, and he's going to do whatever he can to like get his grimy hands on anything he wants, and he's very conniving as well. You know, he's like the Raccoons, I guess they have like a printing press or something, and he's trying to like, that's the only thing he doesn't own. So he's trying to like actually just grab that to whatever time.
Just because he wants it.
Yeah, he just wants it. He just wants it because it's like, you know, what it is. But what I really find funny about it is that he has a son named I think Cyril. I think it's Cyril Sneer. And he's the son, and he's like, he has glasses. He's very nerdy, and he's like very, you know, he's just like aloof, you know, very, very like.
But
he has a warm heart.
Is he equally? Oh, he's a warm heart.
He's warm-hearted.
He's nothing like his father.
No, he's nothing like his father, and he's actually friends with the Raccoons. And you know, it's like Cyril will accept the fact that he's friends with these Raccoons. It says he just doesn't want to deal with it.
Right.
You know?
It reminds me of like in the Disney comics in Europe, they have the Big Bad Wolf comics.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the Big Bad Wolf and the Little Bad Wolf. And the Big Bad Wolf wants to eat the pigs, but the Little Wolf is friends with the pigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like that's what it sounds like the way you're describing it.
But here's the really interesting part of that is that at any moment there is a problem with his son, or he doesn't there's something wrong, or he's like in danger. Cyril will show that he is a father.
Yeah.
He will actually show heart. Like, he will say, like, oh, my son, I don't care about money anymore. I just want my son. It's like, that is a really good element to a cartoon show.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's actually showing that even though this guy is a villain, he does have this humanity to him.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't really see in a lot of cartoons anymore. It's just like, I feel like, I shouldn't say anymore. I'm sure there's ones that I haven't seen. But I mean, like, back then, when there was a lot of heart to these cartoons, even though they seemed very, I don't know, this show is just really fun to watch. Because it's not... nothing about it is lazy. It just, there are elements to it where it's like, if there's a scene that is called for it, they will animate it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
But there are also moments where it's like, we have stock of this, let's just go with that. There's a lot of scenes where Cyril, you will see the same scene of him talking, and that's just like his pose. Like, they'll cut to him talking, and he'll just do what he is. It's like, it's limited to what is allowed.
Yeah.
And it's done really cleverly. I feel like there are moments where you wouldn't even notice that. And there are moments where it's like, it's animated to a very limited budget. And there are elements to it, it's like, where they kind of saved up their strength to animate this part.
Yeah.
And it's like...
they pick their battles in terms of what they want to animate.
Yeah. And I think that's really well done. And it really shows in the...
But yeah, I've never seen the show, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, but this is the song that's been in my head for the whole week, and it's really amazing. And it just kind of shows you this kind of music. Also, this kind of music is like all over the show.
This is the ending theme?
This is the credits theme. And it's by Lisa Lougheed. I think that's her name. That's This is a credits theme for a cartoon show
With raccoons in it.
with raccoons in it. And it's like, and there are moments where there's like montages and they have different songs like this that are playing, and it's really, really cool.
How long is this credit sequence?
Well, this is like the complete version, but the first minute is usually like the credits or something like. There was another version of this that was sung by someone else, but then they went back with the Lisa Lougheed version. And I don't know, it's so powerful.
It does sound really cool.
Yeah, it's like, it really gets you into the show, and it's
With the synth drums.
It's like,
Wow, listen to that.
everything you need, run with us.
That's a very 80s sounding song.
It is. And it's like, I just like love it. It really gets you in the mood, and it gets you pumped into wanting to see this show. But it's a silly cartoon show.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. Like, if you can have that sort of like powerful feeling with it, and who cares? Who cares if it fits or anything? It's just, it is what it is. It's amazing. So I don't know. It's like, I feel like it would be really cool, because I found these episodes, and I can't find them in a U.S. region on DVD for some reason.
They're on YouTube?
Yeah, they are on YouTube.
Or
But if you look them up on like DVD, I think they are like in a Canadian region or European region or something.
You'd have to
like
get a
that.
region-free DVD
Yeah.
player.
So I don't know. And my friend Phelan Porteous, he's Phalis on YouTube and everything. He was telling me that there was like a movie special that was completely different from the show. And
just the style and everything.
Just in the style, and I'm trying to look it up, but I can't really find anything about it.
You'll have to ask him to send.
Yeah, I will. But it's kind of funny, because he was telling me how Cyril Sneer is like, there's a very different element to it. The raccoons are just kind of like a side thing. The focus is more on the dog. There's like a dog character in this, and it's really funny to me too because there's like a big dog and a little dog, and the little dog I guess is like maybe a son or something to this bigger dog, but the smaller dog just acts like a regular dog. The other dog is just like, he's got this really gruff but heartwarming voice. Like don't worry guys, everything is gonna be okay in the end of it. And then there's like the smaller dog just walks on four legs and just acts like a complete dog.
It sounds like the Spike and Tyke from Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
That's my boy, you said that.
Okay, so yeah, that makes more sense if it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I will forgive it for it. But it's just kind of funny seeing that because
How long is it,
there
the
are
whole
moments
thing?
where you don't even see the big dog.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this is the TV show. But I mean, like in the special, I guess he's more of the focus
Of that special.
in the
specifically.
special, and all the other characters are like kind of brought into his perspective of the world.
How many episodes of the show are there?
Gosh, I don't know. I only seen this in volumes. There's currently like 2 volumes up right now. I could be wrong. There's probably
Volumes, by volumes you mean seasons?
maybe not seasons. They just say volumes. I don't even know, but I think there's quite a bit. If I'm incorrect, I will probably correct myself later, or someone will correct me. But there's like 60 episodes that I spotted. Like
It could be, yeah,
but throughout the week, I think I saw about 9 to 15 episodes. But it's really fun. It's a really neat show. I don't know. I really would recommend watching it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Like Phelan was also telling me that Cyril dies in the movie. So I don't know. He didn't really go into
Way to spoil it for everybody else who wants to see it. Damn it.
Well, no, I mean, like, he mentioned it because it's like, it was like a weird thing that kind of happens in the movie where it's like he dies in the movie, but I don't know exactly how he dies or like what implication that is. Like if he dies because he's an evil villain or if he dies because he's dying in his deathbed or something.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I would have to see it for myself to kind of like get that perspective. But I think that's pretty
heavy.
Yeah, it's really heavy. Yeah. Especially after seeing the TV show.
Yeah.
Which is like, there are moments where it's very heartfelt and it's, throughout these adventures that everyone has. So, yeah. And then we were discussing in the car, Life with Louie.
Oh, Life with Louie.
Yeah.
I don't know why our conversation went towards Life with Louie.
Uh-huh.
And we were wondering, like, what started, there was an era in the early to mid 90s where just comedians were getting cartoon movies and TV shows.
Right. Well, we started off with Rover Dangerfield, I think. And it was going into that discussion where it's like, okay, Rover Dangerfield
and Bebe's Kids.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield wanted to make a movie, a cartoon movie, and it's him as a dog. And when did that start? We were trying to
figure out when, but we don't know exactly when.
But
it
as
started.
the wheels turned, it was like I was starting to come up with all the different shows that came up, like I
knew the Life with Louie,
and
there was the Waynehead,
Waynehead,
which is the Wayne brothers cartoon,
where he has like a broken leg.
But then you reminded me of
Bruno the Kid, which is Bruce Willis
as a kid.
But here's
as Bruno when he was that Bruno. Because that was his old. He went under an alias for a while.
Yeah, that's right. Bruno is like, wasn't he like a singer or something?
Yeah, he was a rapper or singer or something.
A rapper?
I don't know.
I don't think he was a rapper.
Because I know Bruce
he was probably
Willis
a lounge singer.
It was before my time.
Yeah, but it was funny because like when I was thinking about that show, all I could remember is the really weird CG. Face.
I had no idea
Bruce
about it.
Willis. Oh, I watched this show. I remember watching this show.
I don't remember it at all.
There were Bruno the Kid is basically an agent of like a secret agent, but the agency that he works for doesn't know that he's a kid. So in order to hide that fact, when he talks to the agency, he is on a computer which projects a giant CG head of Bruce Willis. And it is the most uncanny valley thing you will ever see. It is.
I have never heard.
It
of
is
this.
amazingly disgusting.
And then you mentioned there was a Little Rosie.
Little Rosie, yeah, like it was Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell was a
had
little-
like a show as a kid, and she kind of looked like Little Lulu a little
Yeah,
bit.
I think so. And
I think
speaking of Little Lulu, I remember Tracy Ullman was the voice of Little Lulu for a while.
that's right.
And then she did stand up as Little Lulu, but doing Tracy Ullman stand up, but Little Lulu was doing the stand up.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Which is strange.
Around the time I think also like Pink Panther, that there was a new Pink Panther show where they gave him a voice, and it was the guy who voiced Panic. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Not Bobcat.
No, not Bobcat Goldthwait. No.
Because it's weird, because it would be weird to have Bobcat play a panther.
No, Payne is Bobcat.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he was, yeah, it was so weird
Yeah.
and ill-fitting. Popeye had a son.
I remember that. But I mean,
So did
we
Bluto.
were talking about Life with Louie,
Yeah.
and it's just weird because you hear like, Dad, stop what you're doing. And
I don't know where the mower is. Louie, tell me where the mower is.
Dad,
I need to mow the lawn.
Dad, where's your Christmas spirit?
Oh,
Dad,
yeah.
no fair, I don't know.
Why don't you just go back to your room and I'll hit you later or something?
There's probably so many stories that Louis Anderson did not talk about
Right,
about
yeah.
his father
Yeah.
and his childhood.
Yeah, because like I remember that
It's like,
show
imagine-
that show did really well.
That show was like a Christmas story if it was Louis Anderson's childhood. My dad was very cantankerous.
Holding a beer and like
Yeah.
waving around a golf
the
club.
TV.
Louie, turn on the TV for your dad.
You do that a little too well.
I know. I realized I do
like
that
me,
too
like
well.
one day we're gonna have to talk about it because it's I'm obsessed with this movie. Like there's people out there who want to know like everything about the making of a movie like Citizen Kane, or Wizard of Oz, or Lawrence of Arabia, or Fantasia, or Snow White. I want to know. I just want to know how Rover Dangerfield got made. Like why, how, what was the story? Like I've met a couple people who have worked on it. But I want to know the whole story. Like, what was it like working? Did like, was it weird? I mean, I know that they had fun on the movie, but like, they threw out the model sheet. I don't know. Like what?
Yeah.
It's a weird because it's an enigma. It's like it's a beautifully done movie, but it just so happens to be Rodney Dangerfield as a dog.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a whole
And
one of these days.
written by
It was Rodney Dangerfield and Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis. Yeah.
helped him on it somehow, which I don't know what he did on it because we won't.
He apparently wrote it.
He wrote it with him, though.
Yeah. Right.
Get
So-
this. Hey, it's me as a dog, but I'm called Rover. Well,
I don't know if I could do a Harold Ramis impression.
No, well, either way, that'll be something we'll discuss
don't-
on a future episode someday.
Probably gonna sound like Squidward. It's like, I don't know about that, Rodney. I don't know.
Hey, come on. It's going to write itself. It's going to be great.
Uh,
Have a
is
dog.
it spores related?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah.
No.
But yeah, we had this discussion. It's like, yeah, what a weird period. And what was the last one? What was the one that killed it?
That killed like comedians doing animated stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think because like off the top of my head, like I'm thinking of like PJs, but that's like
That's a show with people playing them.
yeah.
It was Eddie Murphy in that show. Mm-hmm. But I mean, in terms of like, here's baby Rosie O'Donnell or little kid Louie Anderson.
Well, Baby's Kids, the
Well, Baby's Kids was based on, I don't know the comedian because the comedian
Yeah.
died only like not too long after that movie.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can't really think off the top of my head other cartoons that were.
Because it's such a weird, it's just a weird phase.
Yeah, did Roseanne get one? No, maybe I'm just
No.
thinking of Rosie.
Maybe
little,
just thinking
little
of
Rosie.
Little Rosie. But that was Rosie O'Donnell. That
Oh,
wasn't
Wish Kid.
Wish Kid.
Wish-
That was at the Macaulay Culkin.
Wish Kid was Macaulay Culkin, but I don't know if he was playing himself. I know it was Macaulay Culkin who was voicing the character, and it was basically like, I guess a falling star fell on his baseball mitt, and every time he punched his baseball mitt, he made a wish. He was basically like the 80s Timmy Turner. So
I actually never knew about that, so this is going to be something I'm going to have to go on YouTube later and just look this crap
yeah,
up.
we'll have to look this up because I'm sure there's way more.
Oh my god!
We have to do some research.
Oh god, it's going to be strange. But I mean, yeah, it was just something we were discussing in the car, and we were just sort of like, yeah, what? Why did
Jerry Lewis? Jerry Lewis got a show.
Jerry Lewis had a show?
Yeah, it was by Filmation. It was called Here Comes Jerry Lewis. And oh god, the main theme, if anything, you should look it up just for the main theme. It's like, here comes Jerry Lewis. And that's really
I would turn off the television immediately. That sounds horrible. Here comes Jerry. I'd run out of the room and be like,
I don't even know
outside.
if he voiced his own characters, because it was basically like a bunch of ideas of Jerry Lewis as, characters, as, like as a, I guess like as a variety show type of ordeal. Yeah. Harlem Globetrotters got tons of Hanna-Barbera stuff.
The Ed Grimley show.
Oh God, Ed Grimley, yes. You're right.
There was Ed Grimley. I remember that you
I must say.
Yeah.
God.
And he did that
I remember
pose.
That was on Cartoon Network in the morning for the longest time.
That was on Boomerang. I remember when Boomerang first started.
No, on Cartoon Network for Boomerang, later on. But I remember when it was like just constantly every morning, Ed Grimley, and I was like, I think it was only 6 episodes or something like that, because it was really only it was. Oh man, Ed Grimley, yeah.
Strange tie-ins. I mean, I was shown earlier this week. There's a video on YouTube of like a sweeps. Like it was a thing that premiered all the upcoming shows, cartoon shows, and it was hosted by Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard.
Really?
And it was like, and they had singers and dancers, and it was very 80s. But they're like, here's the clip of the Dukes of Hazzard cartoon. But along with that, they showed clips from the Frogger animated series.
Oh, the Saturday
Supercade. But they also showed Donkey Kong and Super Mario.
Yeah, and
they
Cubert
and
was also
then they
part of
showed
that.
some other show, and then for some reason, I think the only show that stood the test of time, at least to an extent, was the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show.
Yeah.
But everything else was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't believe the cartoons that are coming. And it was really weird. And then they premiered, like, as it was like, and the big premiere is the Dukes of Hazzard cartoon.
I'm going to have to look it up because I don't know what started it, but some like primetime cartoons from like probably the 70s or something, like Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
There's also Here Comes Huddles.
Here Comes Huddles, Where's Huddles?
Where's Huddles, yeah.
And then Here Comes...
I love the designs of
there was Where's Huddles, and then there was Here Comes the Grump, which was another show, and then
there was also the
Roman Holidays, which was like...
Oh, yeah, the Roman Holidays.
It was like a Flintstones, but it was taking place in ancient Rome.
This is stuff like seriously no one's heard of.
Yeah, stuff that... Because after the Flintstones and the Jetsons, they're like, let's just do Roman Holidays.
But here's a really obscure one. There's one based off The Odd Couple. And it's a cat and a dog. And I think it's like The Oddball Couple. That's what it's called. And I don't know if it was Filmation or some other company, but it's The Odd Couple, but with a cat and a dog.
Gilligan's Planet. And what was the other one? Partridge Family 2020 AD or something.
You're right.
Or something like that. There was a time where it's like everybody's getting their own show. I think the Jackson 5 had their own cartoon.
They did, yeah. Gary Coleman had a show.
And he was an angel.
Where he was an angel, yeah.
I don't remember the name of that.
I think the kid died and he's an
angel.
Like... It's like that joke from The Simpsons where Abe Simpson dies and he comes back as like a love machine or love test machine.
Tester.
He's a love-matic grandpa. But it's like Gary Coleman or something.
I don't understand. It's just weird. I would love to just see the marketing decisions for those cartoons.
Yeah.
Well, Filmation, Gary Coleman's really big.
Well, Filmation, they basically made it a point to make cartoons based off of live action properties like Star Trek, and they did a lot of Marvel stuff as well.
This was a dark age without law, without order.
Yeah.
Where the strong preyed upon the weak. It just seems really weird looking back that there was a time period where it's like, oh, here's what's coming up for kids Saturday morning.
Yeah.
The Partridge Family in space, or Gilligan's Island in space, or Josie and the Pussycats in space.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, Yogi Bear
Wait
in
a minute.
space.
Okay, hang on.
And Yogi on an ark in space.
Was there a Josie and the Pussycats show where they were underwater, or am I just thinking of Jabberjaw?
I think you're thinking of Jabberjaw.
Okay.
Or C-Lab.
They just no, C-Lab was something completely different. That was like an underwater serial show.
Yeah.
Like kind of like what was the there was like a live action show that was kind of like they were underwater explorers, and they had like a dolphin friend or something like that.
There's a weird era in like the 70s with Hanna-Barbera Filmation stuff where like you get like for a while like it started with like Scooby-Doo in the late 60s and then they kind of just kept going from there. It's like, wait a minute, where's all the fanciful cartoony stuff? Then you get stuff like Devlin. And like, what is going on? Devlin and like even Speed Buggy and the Funky Phantom and what is it what is the Fang Face
that's right,
which was like
I thought that was a Filmation thing.
That's Filmation, but I mean the thing is Filmation was started by guys who worked at Hanna-Barbera.
That's true.
Or Ruby Spears specifically.
Ruby Spears, that's another one that I'm thinking of. Maybe that's what the oddball
could have been, because it's most of the stuff that people don't know about is stuff that was either from Ruby Spears or because they're not really promoted anymore. I mean, who talks about Roman holidays anymore, or Where's Huddles?
Yeah.
Or Those Were the Days.
Yeah.
Which was a show that took place in like, I don't know, colonial times, and it was like, those were the days, and they're like on a haystack ride, a hay cart ride, and it's, I don't know, it was a very sad period in animation. Where like
but you got to give them credit because they were keeping animation alive. Regardless.
On life support.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we'll have to come up with like another subject at some point to talk about.
Yeah.
Like certain cartoon things.
So,
yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Now you just depressed me. We're talking about some great stuff, and then it's like, now let's talk about like.
I love it. I love talking about stuff like this. All of a sudden it's like I'm remembering stuff, and then it's like I would like to know more about.
We're the first
things.
People in like 10 years that have even remotely even mentioned Devlin.
Yeah, these are the
or Gilligan's Planet.
Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't be the only one that should be curious about these sort of unknown cartoons that kind of like just.
I can't even say Devlin without it sounding negative. I can't be like, hey, it's Devlin? No, it's like Devlin.
Devlin.
Yeah.